Hi, Kathy here from kathyskutekreations. Today we're going to do the cotton cuts, and I wanted to show you how the package comes. Now normally it comes in a little pink package, and it looks like this before it's opened up. That right there. And then all I normally do is I just take this, open it up like that, and I pull it all out just like this. Set that aside, and then I take all of these off and I lay them here on my design board, and then I pull my card out, and this is the card we got. It's the economy block. That's the color challenge on the back. Turn it that way for you. And then we get our directions. We get a piece of cardboard. It's just plain cardboard, holds it together. And this month we have it in green, and normally it's in white. And that's what it looks like right there. And then the back tells us how to put it together. Okay, so I'm going to lay it out here on my design wall, and then I pull out of my drawer, because I have them stacked up, my little color chart here. Here it is laid out, and this is my chart here, and this is what I do now. So when I get my paper, I go ahead and first off I make sure that everything is there. So it's in the order of this, so it's A, D, E, F across the very top. Then I go to the next row, and the next row's got A, B, and this is E. And then the next row, which is take up, I need 3 of them on there, so I went ahead and I started with this one, which is B. Then I put this one, which is D, and then the 2 long ones at the very bottom down here, which are F. This way I can keep track of it. And then I'll take this card, I'll put it over here to the right in case I need it to refer to. So let's go ahead and get started by the directions. We're going to take the little A and the little A, and we're going to attach it to this bigger B, and we're going to make 2 of these. So let's get them started. Fabric is Team Night Owl. The name of this mystery is, it's called Name of the Rose Spring 2020. In case I didn't say it before, I'm using a 12-inch needle like I always do, unless it's a special project, and I'll let you know. And I'm going to go ahead and use white thread. I used pink the last time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain stitch these 2, and it's said to put this small triangle on the left hand side, and I want to do that just because maybe I haven't read it yet, but maybe the ironing is in a certain direction. Now all of these pieces are at a 1/4 inch just like before, and I have a 2.5 inch length. So we're doing a 1/4 inch, and if you want to make yours smaller than the 2.5, you can go down to 2, whatever your preference is. I love these because they're already pre-cut. Hopefully my hand does not get in the way. So they're super duper easy to do. You don't have to cut them out. You don't have to worry about them being the correct size. I would suggest that when you first get your pieces and your kit that you count and make sure you have the correct number, because if you don't, they're going to be more than happy to send you the extra fabric that you're going to need. Now so far I've never had a kit that I've opened that I haven't had the right pieces to it. And then you want to be careful when you're sewing, because this is on the bias which stretches, so if you need to use a fusible, by all means go ahead. You know that if you don't have actual fusible, that you can use paper, you can use tissue paper, you can use typing paper. I used a leader ender because I have changed my plate again. I did have the single needle plate for another project, but now I have moved on. I was doing something else, so I needed my zigzag plate, and I don't want my fabric to get tucked down into there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open these up and I'm going to iron them, and then I'm going to come back. Now try not to forget that when you iron them, you want to relax your seam first. So it's going to look like this at the ironing board, and all you do is put your iron flat on it. You're relaxing this and warming it up more or less, and then you're going to flip it over. And then when you have it flipped over, slowly come over real lightly. Don't push on it, because this will get distorted right here, and then your whole block will be off. Okay, so just slowly pull it over, and when you do, then just put your iron down on it, and that's it. That's all the pressing you need for this. Now we're going to take this here, and we're going to put on the right sides. And so you're just matching up this little corner here. That's why they're cut off. These tails have already been removed. And then you're going to pin it, and then we're going to sew it. I'm going to sew it from the top up here down to the bottom. I find this project to be one of the most relaxing because it's already pre-cut out for you. And there's not too many ways that you could ruin it. Maybe if your 1/4 inch was off, you might ruin it that way, but usually when all this fabric's cut for you in advance and everything, it's pretty easy to do. Just take your time. I'm never in a hurry when I'm making these. Now they're done, and they're saying to put the fabric bead, which is the bottom, to the bottom like that. So we're going to do that next. Now, for some reason, you find yours off a little bit. Let me show you what I do. Take my fabric here. I'm going to fold it in half. Now, normally your seams would be right down on top of each other, right like that. Put a little pinch here. That's on the bottom of the geese. This is the nose. This is the bottom. I put a little pinch right there. And we're going to put right sides together. So right here where my little pinch is, which is right here, I'm going to take this fabric, fold it in half, pinch it, and then I'm going to match up my 2 little pinches like this, and that puts it in the middle. This way, if for some reason your fabric were like this, just for an example like that, then what you could do is after you've gone to the middle, just pull it a little bit to make it go to the right, because there is give a little bit in there, because you want that to match up. That should fit right on top of each other. And then we're going to pin it. Now I checked my needle before I started, so it is good needle. Doesn't have any burrs or anything on it. Every time you start a project, you want to check your needle. So we're going to take fabric E, attach it to A, and we're going to make 2 of them. So that's what's laid out here. Then we're going to take fabric. Oop, I said my number wrong. Sorry. This is fabric E. This is A. So we're going to make 2 E's and an A. So that's those 2. Then we're going to make 2 A's and an E. And then that's going to use up all of the large ones. And we still have a few of these left over. Now let's go ahead, and I'm going to chain stitch all of these. I'm going to pin this side here, because when you iron it, you're ironing it towards this middle. Here we go. Now you should have this if you've been following me along. And the paper says, okay, they want the A and the E against the E and the A. So the E's are going like this, and they want 2 of them made, so I have 2 of them here. For that, now you're going to take this. This is what it looks like. Put it on top of each other like this. But we want to flip it like this, because this is the seam that's going to be sewn. So that's what I've done here. And I'm going to show you on this one right here, because I'm going to get a close-up. We don't want to lose that tip. So I'm going to take my pin. Let me see if I can get a little closer. I'm going to take my pin. This is anything you want, because remember now, this is on the inside of the seam, so you're not going to see it. And you're going to mark above where these 2 little pieces of thread cross each other. Do you see it right there? I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to mark it. This is above the sewing stitch. So when I come along here and sew that, I'm not going to take off the tip of this bird, because this is the flying geese. I'm not going to take the tip off right here, because I've marked it, and I'm on the right side closest to the fabric, to the edge here, not on towards the fabric now. It's towards the edge of the fabric so that you don't sew after. Let me flip it. Let me get a pen real quick. It's going to be easier to explain it this way. All right, so I'm going to put my pen in here. This is where I marked it on my fabric. Let me. See the tip right there? My line is going to go right on this side of the pin, so it's not going to take any of that tip off at all. And that's the reason we marked it right there. So that when we sew on this side right here. We don't come on the left, we come towards the right. Not towards the left, but towards the right. And this is how we're going to pin it on here. So pin both of those. Notice I've put my pin down. I come down with my sewing machine. I come down this direction. And instead of pulling my pin out before I get to that dot, because I want to make sure I go over this spot, I've got the pin down from it. So I don't have to pull my pin out until I've actually gone over this. As soon as it gets up to the pin right there, then I can pull my pin out. Then I know I have not gone over it. And I'm going to do the other one the same way. Now we're going to join these two here. And I don't need a leader ender because I'm starting at the corner and it's not a peak of a corner. And it might be a little tough for you at the very beginning because of the folds down there, but that's okay. Just take your time. And I'm watching for my pink line here. I want to go right over where that dot is. There you go. Because if I go too far to the right, it'll have too much exposed. If I go too far to the left, I clip it. I don't want to clip it. Go. And when we get done with these two, we're going to combine into the two that we have set aside already. Now, you'll have both of these done. We're going to take our first block and we're going to connect it to the second block. And if you've got a picture to do it, then you're going to know that the geese are up here at the top. Because this is A and B, and they want it connected to A and E. And this is our E fabric with the moon in it. So you're going to take it over here like that, and you're going to nestle these. Now, if you iron them right, and mine's like kind of a little lopsided on this back side, the right one will be towards the left, which is up towards the top, and the other one will be the other direction. And you nestle them together, put a pin on either side because you want to make sure that it goes right down the middle when it sews. When I just pin on the right side and the left side, I'll go down to the left, over here. I'll line it up and I'll pin it. And if there's give, don't worry about it. I don't see any give in this one. Let me check the bottom one real quick. And I'm putting a pin in this fold here so that it doesn't fold over on me. And see how it's got a little bit of a give? But when you pull on that, that straightens out. So when you're sewing and it's coming down here, you're just holding a little taut and it'll keep it straight for you and it won't double up or put a pleat or a pinch or anything in it. So let's go ahead and pin both of these and then we'll chain stitch them. And again, I will not need a leader ender on the end here. Remember now, if it gets real tight on you and it doesn't want to go, you can grab it on this side and gently pull it, but don't pull it really hard because you don't want to break your needle. Just go real gentle with it. Set those aside. Here's both of them right here. And then we're going to join D and A. And it's going to be this way because D goes on the right, A goes on the left. And we're going to make two of them. And then we're going to take, which we have D here, and we have F. So we might as well chain stitch these. F is going on the right hand side. And D is going on the bottom. Like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pin these and we're going to chain stitch them. So let's do that. And I wanted to mention, now I'm not being sponsored or anything by this quilt that I'm making here, this mystery cotton. Oops, I better put a leader ender on there. So since I'm not being sponsored, I can talk about anything. So I'm going to mention on the Fort Worth Fabric Studio quilt along that we are doing right now, which is a mystery quilt, that it is quite the mystery, because a lot of people are now finding out, if they didn't cut all their fabric out before they got started and looked at it, they're wondering why there is no white for week 3. Well, there is no white for week 3 because we are not using white in week 3. So this is really a true mystery when it comes to that, because normally you'll use a little bit of each color when you're making it. So I just wanted to put that in there real quick. I am teaching it on my channel also. At the same time I'm teaching this. Just wanted to let you all know. And we are actually combining week 3 and 4 this time around because of what all is entailed in doing it for anybody that's new, because we don't want you to get overwhelmed by the project that we're making, because this is all supposed to be really super duper easy and friendly. So I can't give you out any hints or anything other than there just is no white. So, and you will enjoy week 3 and 4. And if you're one of the zealous people that you just got to get it all done, by all means, you can do it all in week 3, but then you're going to be bored waiting for week 5 because 4 will be over with. So you might want to just pace yourself and do 3 and then 4 and break it up. So that's about all I wanted to say on that right offhand. I'm putting those out on Monday for 6 weeks straight. We'll assemble it on week 6. Now when you have these sewn, these 4 here, it's saying to take the A and the D and put it with the D and the D and the F. So we're going to make 2 sets of that. I went ahead and I've pinned both sides on each one of these. I think it'll be a little bit faster. I'm still chain stitching them. Now swing them around and do the other side. Done, you'll have 2 of them like that, and then I want you to take the last strip, which is F, and attach it to that. And we're going to do it and make 2 of them, and then we're going to put it all together on the last step. Done, they want you to take the first piece that we did and we're going to attach it to this last piece that we did. So let's chain stitch that. I've got them lined up here. Now don't forget, you want to mark your spot right here so you don't cut off your tip. Remember, now you can always go over this, so if you want to go over it with a larger stitch and then go back over it with a smaller stitch, you can. Here's the tip that you were supposed to be worried about, right there. This one looks fine. This one looks like it took a little bit off here. Let's see if I can find it with my finger here. But I'm not that worried about it. So that's it. I'm going to get it on the design wall so you can take a look at it. There is our month 3. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope you learned a little bit of something. And I'll see you all the next time. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.